Dude, this is insane. So if you're not familiar, there is a guy running for governor in North Carolina right now named Mark Robinson, okay? And you wouldn't know it from looking at him, but he is a avowed neo-Nazi and white supremacist. And among other things, has gone on record to say some pretty horrific shit. Some of the most radically far-right things you'll possibly have ever heard. Like, he goes further than Nick Fuentes, than like Richard Spencer, than frankly a lot of white supremacists you'll have seen. And it's been a while now that people have been attacking, Governor Robinson over this for a while. They've been going after him for a little while now. And he's been getting a lot of shit. He's been getting a lot of garbage. He's been getting a lot of hate, considering he's gone on record to say that he believes the Jews control the world as well. He's full-on JQ'd. He has outright come out against abortion, like entirely. He wants to ban it. What else? God, I'm just trying to pull things off the top of my head that I know about him. But one of the big news stories that hit this morning, I didn't even think this was going to develop any more today, but one of the big news headlines that I saw about him this morning was that Donald Trump was urging him to step down from the gubernatorial debate or election, because apparently word had spread that there was some dirt on him that would be leaking. And so Trump contacted personally Mark Robinson, asked him to drop out of the race because he knew that this was going to be happening. Like, Trump knew that it was going to make the Republican Party look bad. I did not expect we'd be finding out what these things were today, but now we have, apparently. And despite this, Mark Robinson insists that he is staying in the race. Absolutely phenomenal. He is going to destroy his party's chance at winning this race, and I love that for the Republicans. This might be one of the biggest W's that has just been handed to us, zero effort, here on the left. Like, this is huge. Look at this. You are not going to believe what has come out about this guy if you don't already know. It is hysterical.
Are following some breaking news out of North Carolina as North Carolina gubernatorial governor, candidate Mark Robinson is facing calls to drop out amid rumors, and now he is responding to those rumors. I do want to show you this live look right here of Raleigh, North Carolina, as we are following this breaking news story. Reports say there is going to be a negative news story about Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, who is running for governor. That story has yet to be published. And according to Fox News, the reports say the story has to do with Robinson's activity on adult websites back in...
That's right. They found his porn history. And if you know anything about Nazis, and we know a lot about Nazis, we spend a lot of time on the internet here. We've covered a lot of these fucking freaks. We know what they're into. We know what their spank bank tends to contain. Worst case scenario, it's full-on child porn. Best case scenario is they end up getting outed as a hypocrite that's into trans porn and interracial, like, cuck porn. Although in this case, considering he's a black guy, I guess the interracial cuck porn wouldn't be as funny. But, like, regardless, I don't know. Maybe he watches the reverse, you know? Like, instead of it being, like, the typical, like, interracial cuck porn that Nazis watch, where it's like a white guy having his white girlfriend fucked by a black guy. Maybe instead this guy watches porn where it's a black woman being fucked by a white guy in front of a black guy. Although that wouldn't make sense because it would make sense because he's a white supremacist. Maybe that's what he is watching. Because funnily enough, a lot of white supremacists are just, like, insecure weirdos whose ignorance has taken them to, like, some weird political ideology. For some reason, it feels like a lot of white supremacists, like, I mean, off the top of my head, I'm thinking, like, Candace Owens, come off as, like, smarter, more informed, and malicious. You know what I mean? No, Zan, it's obviously trans porn. Well, we know it's trans porn. I'm already aware of that. But, like, how funny would it be if this is like a Key and Peele sketch? Yeah, like the full-on Key and Peele sketch scenario where instead of the racist white guy watching interracial cuck porn, it's the racist white supremacist black guy watching interracial cuck porn, and it's a very different kind of interracial cuck porn.
Into the 2000s. That is according to the Carolina Journal. Now, Robinson and his campaign did not respond to requests for comment from Fox News Digital. Sources told the Journal that members of Robinson's staff and former President Trump's campaign are encouraging Robinson to drop out of the race. Now,
I will say nothing funnier than the Republicans talking about how Kamala Harris is invalid because they asked Biden to drop out and he dropped out. And she took his place and got the nomination and was endorsed by him. And yet, meanwhile, Trump is personally begging someone who is running for governor, who's already lieutenant governor of the state, to step down in order to help the party. The exact same situation, by the way, except Biden didn't do anything horrific that prompted it. It was just sort of people were stupid and thought he's too old. So yeah, literally no consistency among these people, particularly Trump, but that shouldn't surprise you.
Now, the communications director for Robinson's campaign rejected those claims in a statement to the Journal saying, quote, "Whomever your sources are, it is complete fiction." The reports come after Robinson canceled 2 campaign events Thursday. He was scheduled to appear alongside Senator J.D. Vance, but his campaign said Robinson tested positive for COVID. A source reportedly told the Journal that Trump's campaign told Robinson he is not welcome at campaign events earlier this week. The story reportedly originated from the campaign for Robinson's opponent, Attorney General Josh Stein, which leaked the information to CNN and a local outlet. Robinson secured the GOP nomination for governor in March.
Once again, the talking point that the Republicans are just weird continues to stand strong as the best gotcha we've ever had. Just simply calling these people weird and pointing out how weird they are continues to be perfect. It continues to be the best line of argument that we could follow.
March, he would be the state's first black governor if he wins the election. Back in the spring, Trump endorsed.
How awful would it be if North Carolina's first black governor was a JQ posting white supremacist? I feel that would be like the most monkey's paw curls moment of all time. You know what I mean?
Robinson calling him, quote, Martin Luther King on steroids. The reported damaging news story about Robinson is expected to drop.
JQ posting? Yeah, doesn't he have posts going back years ago that were dug up? That's just him JQing. What's JQ posting? Oh, you don't know what JQ means. JQ is the acronym for the term Jewish question, which is a Nazi phrase. Basically a theory and also a question. It's like a leading question that's meant to be more of like a catchphrase. And the idea is like, oh, why are there so many people in power who have a lot of money and power who are Jewish? And oftentimes, like, you'll see something like a big collage of like executives at big companies, and they'll put like stars of David over the faces of everyone who's apparently Jewish, and you'd think like, okay, well, I guess they do have a point about all these people being Jewish if it's accurate, but then you find out it's not really accurate. Like they'll call someone Jewish for any reason. Like if you're progressive enough, they'll call you Jewish, right? So you can't really take them very seriously about that stuff. But even if it's true, there is an element of truth to the idea that a lot of people who hold power are white Jewish people. But there are very deep sociological and historical reasons for it. Most of them going back to even before the Holocaust, all of them having to do with the ways in which Jewish people have either been exceptions to social norms and rules in a lot of like in a very anti-Semitic way that's actually over time led to some benefits, and on other areas been just outright like the bigotry that Jewish people have faced for so long has led to Jewish communities being pretty tight-knit and strong. And when your communities are tight-knit and strong, it means that like your children have a lot of opportunities, they have a lot of connections, and this can lead to going to better schools, getting better jobs, more successful. You've got a lot of family and friends to pull and community to pull from for advice on how to better yourself and have a more successful life. And a big talking point, not really talking point, but a big like idea among, not even just Jewish Americans, but just Jewish people in general, religiously, ethnically, doesn't matter, is never again with all that Holocaust stuff. Never the fuck again. And so there's like a general trend that like Jewish communities are very, I wouldn't say insular or whatever, but like very supportive to each other, because like there's almost like a shared generational historical trauma there. And so, yeah, there are a lot of people in power who are Jewish, but that's because culturally, Jewish communities highly, highly, highly value gaining power and success, because that's protection from the shit that Jewish people have faced for longer than centuries, to be clear, like thousands upon thousands upon thousands of years, so it just goes back a long way. There's reasons for this stuff. Now, Nazis of today use that as an excuse to continue being anti-Semitic. Anti-Semitism is like maybe the world's oldest form of bigotry, besides like misogyny, maybe.
Sometime today. That is according to the Journal. And just to give you a little bit more context, Stein leads Robinson 45.5% to 39.2% in a Carolina Journal poll that was conducted and released earlier today. This week, Stein said he would not debate Robinson based on the lieutenant governor's history of making controversial comments.
History of making controversial comments is a interesting way to phrase his online history. Like, this guy was publicly Nazi posting, like not even shy about it, just full on Nazi posting.
Said the lieutenant governor now fighting back, responding to those rumors, posting to the social media platform X just a short time ago. And I do want to play out his remarks for you right now.
Hey guys, Lieutenant Governor Robinson and your Republican nominee for governor as well, of course.
I watched a few of Rashad's videos, and I disagree with some of the observations about the left, but other than that, he's pretty cool. I disagree. I actually think his observations about the left are completely valid. I have said for years now that if Hassan continues to be the face of the online left, then we have no reason to complain when people describe the left basically describing Hassan's fan base. He is the biggest online lefty figure. When people think of an internet leftist, they think of a Hassan fan. So yeah, it's actually not too unfair to think of the online left in as harsh of a way as he tends to, when you consider that the biggest face of the online left is Hassan. The online left has failed to filter out people like Hassan from taking advantage of these movements and grifting off of them and getting big and spreading misinfo from a left-wing perspective, all the while having an audience big enough to look like they are representational of most of the online left. The left earned this by not stemming the growth of Hassan as it started. Sorry. As long as Hassan is number one, I think any claim about the left broadly being insane and tanky-oriented is completely accurate.
Well, guys, the news media has added again. My opponent.
We don't count when people use those generalizations.
You all
They're not
have
talking
seen
about us.
half-truths and outright lies of Josh Stein on these ads over and over again. And now a story leaked by him to CNN is appearing now. Let me reassure you, the things that you will see in
I assure you, my leaked porn history is not accurate. Please still vote for me. Would you prefer Destiny represent the left? More than Hassan? Probably, yeah. Yeah, I'd say so. Hassan does not have any attachment to the truth. That's the big problem. Hassan is extremely ideological and lies through his teeth whenever it benefits whatever argument or point he wants to make. And he's not good at lying as well. He's not like most conservative pundits where they're really kind of effective liars and normies have a hard time parsing it and calling it out. Normie content creators have made very good videos definitively debunking Hassan's lies, like non-political normie content creators. So when he's that easy to call out the lies of, it's really not a good look. Lonerbox? Lonerbox literally hates me. And honestly, I would say, yeah, he would be a better representative for the left than Hassan. Yeah, I would snap my fingers and give Lonerbox Hassan's whole fan base. Yeah, absolutely. It would just be objectively better. Hassan's that much of a dumb shit. I mean, Loaderbox is far from perfect. Dude, bro fucking hates me. I mean, I've got no bias in his favor, to be clear, but I'm simply stating that on an objective level, his politics are less awful than Hassan's. Lonerbox is cringe plenty of the time, but he's got more of an attachment to the truth and reality than Hassan does. Yeah, totally.
That story, those are not the words of Mark Robinson. You know my words, you know my character, and you know that I have been completely transparent in this race and before.
No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't at all. He the only. I mean, I guess the transparency has been in his like old. Let's see if we can find, if it hasn't been completely drowned out by this story. Let's see if we can find his Nazi posts. Nazi posts. This is the shit we knew about him before this came out. So here's this multiple anti-trans posts. They're not as extreme because it's just like anti-trans and sports stuff. Not like anything you don't expect from a Republican governor, right? Or lieutenant governor. History of controversial statements. Now campaigning for governor, he says he supports a so-called heartbeat bill that would ban abortion when a heartbeat is detected, approximately 6 weeks, with exceptions for rape, incest, and health of the mother. But writing as a mini soldier on Nude Africa in December 2010, Robinson said he did not care about a celebrity having an abortion. I don't care. I just want to see the sex tape, Robinson wrote. This is part of what's come out now. In another thread, commenters considered whether to believe the story of a woman who said she was raped by her taxi driver while intoxicated. In response, Robinson wrote, and the moral of this story is, don't fuck with a white bitch. Well, I mean, another statement he's made is, I'm not in the KKK. They don't let blacks join. If I was in the KKK, I would have called him Martin Lucifer, and then a word I cannot say because it's a slur for black people. Get that fucking commie bastard off the National Mall, Robinson wrote about the dedication of the memorial to King in Washington, D.C. by then President Barack Obama. Wait, he's described himself as being like Martin Luther King, but then also wrote, get that fucking commie bastard off the National Mall, in reference to him getting, like, a monument made to him on... Okay. All right, so, like, if you're wondering how transparent and honest he is, there you go. I guess.
Folks, this race right now, our opponents are desperate to shift the focus here from the substantive issues and focus on what you are concerned with.
We're really in, like, a weird era for black white supremacists, aren't we? Like, Candace Owens, I think, just got, like, excised by a bunch of the alt-right because she's too mask off. Like, a bunch of white alt-righters were like, we literally can't associate with you. Like, you may have your race to use as a shield, but the shit you say is so radical that if we associate with you, then you burn our masks off being around you. Like, we have to disassociate with you because you're so radical. So, like, just recently, Candace Owens got, like, booted out of those spaces. I mean, like, like, just recently, what's his name? The Fresh and Fit guy joined a whites-only Twitter space where he thought he would be able to be friendly with all the white supremacists there because he's a big alt-right content creator who's black, and they thought he'd be accepted as, like, you know, oh, you're one of the good ones. But he got full-on screamed at, insulted, called slurs, and then kicked out. And it's like, what did you expect? You joined a Twitter group, group chat, or Twitter space with like tens of thousands of people in it that was labeled explicitly as whites only. You know, like he joined it thinking that he would be accepted because he was a black racist, but they did not care. They treated him exactly how you'd expect. Yeah, why are leopards eating my face? Well, if you don't know, the Fresh and Fit guy that did this, I think his name's Myron. He's British, and he is under the impression that as a European black guy, he's actually above and superior to black Americans. I'm not joking. There is a section of colorism. I don't even know if you can call it colorism. It's more just outright like intraracial racism, where like there are European black people who think they are superior to American black people. He's actually Sudanese. Yeah. Maybe he might not be European. My bad. Regardless, they'll claim that like because they're not from America, they're superior. Myron is British. I might be wrong about him being British. Maybe he's Sudanese. I'm sorry. He's not from America. He's from somewhere not America, and he sees that as him being a superior black person to American black people, and thought he could, like, bond with the Nazis over how they both hate American black people, as if he's, like... Because he believes that he is special. Like, there is levels to racism. Racism being, like, this insane, you know, illogical thought process naturally has, like, offshoots of insanity that go even deeper than anything you'd expect. What's up, Baby Gretel? Good to see you.
To salacious tabloid trash. We could not allow that to happen. And folks, we've seen this type of stuff in the past as well. Clarence Thomas famously once said he was the victim of a high-tech lynching. Well, it looks like Mark Robinson is.
Clarence Thomas once said he was the victim of a high-tech lynching. One of my favorite things about, like, I'm not even saying black conservatives, I'm saying full-on black Nazis, is the explicit use of like, racial language to defend what they say, right? Or what they say and stand for. I want to be very clear here. The color of your skin does not preclude you from a set of ideas, or even the ignorance that can lead to a set of ideas. You can be a woman who's misogynistic. You can be a Jew who's anti-Semitic. You can be a black person who's racist against black people and has tons of problematic opinions about it. You can be a trans person who's self-hating or just narcissistic and hates all other trans people, like a Blair White type. It is so important to remember that your identity has absolutely no bearing whatsoever on what beliefs you can and can't have. And so, yeah, there are black racists, and just like any other racist, they are not excluded from engaging in even the most dishonest and shitty methods, such as using identity politics as a crutch against criticism, which is, of course, what he's doing right now, and what he's literally referencing another black conservative doing as well. I got a tech lynching because people disagreed with my racism.
Too, by a man who refuses to stand on stage and debate you about the real issues that face you. Instead, they want to focus on salacious tabloid lies. We're not going to let them do that. We are staying in this race. We are in it to win it. And we know that with your help, we will. God bless you, and we will see you.
Yeah, bring the Republicans down with you. Hell yes.
So that was a social media post that Lieutenant Governor Robinson posted just a short time ago, saying that he is not going to drop out of the race, saying he will meet everyone at the polls as he does run for governor of North Carolina. We are going to continue to follow this breaking news story.
Zan, doesn't he look like he had plastic surgery to raise his eyebrows? I just thought he looked funny. I think he just has funny eyebrows. Let's just believe that because it's funnier.
All the latest details and information as we do get them confirmed.
Dude, this is so fucking funny. Apparently his, like, porn history is the main thing that leaked that everyone's talking about right now. The Lincoln Project put out a video. For those who don't know, the Lincoln Project is an anti-Trump conservative organization. I know it sounds crazy. It's literally a Republican anti-Trump, like never-Trumper Republican organization that dedicates itself to, like, making anti-MAGA stuff. And so they made a bit here about Mark Robinson that came out an hour ago. It's like the Anti-Heritage Foundation. I don't think Lincoln Project is good. I think they've got some cringe. They are run by conservatives, but they're never Trump anti-MAGA conservatives, which is like, fuck, in this era, it's like bordering on being like, are these people allies at this point? Like,
and has become a friend of mine, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, he's called himself a black Nazi. There you go.
Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson.
This is why I literally referred to him as a black Nazi so many times. That's what he's called himself, word for word. Like, that is the label that Mark Robinson has for himself. Black Nazi.
Martin Luther King on steroids. You are Dr. Martin Luther King on steroids. That's how good you are.
Mind you, Mark Robinson called MLK a commie piece of shit. Just thought I'd throw that out there. But he's apparently MLK on steroids, according to Trump. Because Republicans can only name one black person that's good in their minds that they like. and that's MLK, I guess. That's the only person they can think of who's like known for doing like a big thing that's very generally liked. It's all that comes to mind. That's the only black person they know.
Martin Luther King ×2.
That you would portray a black man just because he's in the GOP as a Klansman.
And been as detrimental in the black community as a stick of dynamite.
Oh yeah, keep using your race.
Chuck
Oh
from the
yeah.
Ku Klux Klan.
Guys, I'm a black man and they're calling me racist for being racist. Isn't it crazy how they're the actual racists? This happens all the time, by the way. Like I realized this like maybe a few years ago that like black conservative racists are some of the most dishonest people you will ever deal with, and they will try to do the woke scolding thing to you. So just don't even worry about it. Don't even try to walk on eggshells to keep them from trying to woke scold you. They're gonna try to like bounce accusations of racism back at you and use like race as a crutch for being racist and white supremacist. You know what they're doing. Just call it out. Just be like, I don't care if you think I'm racist. Like, I don't care if you, a Nazi, thinks I'm racist, okay? If you want to say that me calling you KKK tier as a black man is racist, then sure. I don't care if you think I'm racist, because you are, and your opinion doesn't matter. Just, like, who cares, you know? Like, just call this shit out. Call this shit out. It is just as bad as that, like, little white twerp who was spray painting swastikas, and Hilter was right on that overpass.
We have to cherish Mark. He's a star. You have to cherish him.
Called to be led by men, not DeVita, David.
I came to a spot that was a dead end but had two big vent covers over it. It's just so happened it overlooked the showers. I sat there for an hour and watched as several girls came in and showered, Robinson wrote on Nude Africa. Yeah, this was also, he confessed on a porn site, this also came out today, that he was a peeping Tom that would spy on girls. And this sounds like he was like spying on underage girls like in school. Through like a vent in the locker room. Very creepy shit. Like literally cartoonishly creep shit. Yeah.
I absolutely want to go back to the America where women couldn't vote.
You're a very popular guy, Mark.
There's no reason anybody anywhere in America should be telling any child about transgenderism, homosexuality, any of that filth. If there's a movement.
And here's another thing that came out today. In other comments on Nude Africa, Robinson discussed his affinity for transgender pornography. Quote, I like watching Tiesler porn on girl porn. That's fucking hot. It takes the man out while leaving the man in, Robinson wrote. And yeah, I'm a perv, too. Every time. Every fucking time, dude. Like, I'm so sorry if you're like a trans girl watching that like so many of the people out there that want you are also like chasers that can't accept it and have like internalized self-hatred over it. It's like they can't not fetishize it or funnel it into self-hatred that turns into external hatred towards like trans people and even violence. Like they're attracted to trans people. They're attracted to trans women oftentimes, and they're just so in their heads about it, it turns into violence and hatred, you know? Like, they could just be normal about it. But it makes them weird. Or they make themselves weird over it.
In this country that is demonic and that is full of the spirit of Antichrist. It is the transgender movement.
The next governor of North Carolina, Mark Robinson.
You got a friend in me.
I really hope this hurts his campaign. Not just Mark Robinson's campaign. I mean Trump's campaign, too. It would be funny as fuck. Hysterical, even. This is not the demographic that I want going after me when I'm out of school or while I'm in school. Trust me, they're more likely to come after you while you're still in school. So keep your guard up, Zorm Chills. Keep your guard up. God. Anyway, y'all. That was some funny shit. That was some funny stuff. I love talking about funny cases of big conservative Nazi figures getting outed as freaks behind the scenes. They're into some shit they would not publicly associate with, you know? Like, the shit about how, oh my god, The shit about how he just publicly posted about being a peeping Tom is hysterical. That's really the part that I feel more people should focus on, because that's like, even if the victims aren't knowledgeable of it, that is absolutely like kind of essay, isn't it? Like, would you call that essay, like being a peeping Tom? That's kind of essay. Even if they didn't know, they were being victimized in the sense that their bodily autonomy was, yeah, like that's a crime for one, but like even on a moral sort of court of public opinion level, is that not like SA? I consider it kind of a form of sexual assault. Like if creating fake AI revenge porn of people is as well, like I consider, yeah, no, this is like a form of SA that he's just admitted to. It does fall under stalking. I can see the argument for it. Yeah. Anyway, y'all, if you enjoyed this video, consider dropping a like. It really does help a lot. Every thumbs up pushes my content, no matter live stream or video, in the algorithm out to more people, so it really helps a lot, and I really do appreciate it, so keep it up, guys. And of course, consider subscribing, ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications so YouTube actually tells you when I go live or upload a new video, and follow my social medias linked down below so you can see me on other platforms. You can also join my fan Discord. It's totally free. It's the main hub of my community and fan base, and I also host gaming events, call-in streams, and watch parties there, as well as announcing all my new uploads and streams. So even if YouTube bugs out, then you don't have to worry about it. YouTube will, or not YouTube, Streamlabs, not Streamlabs, I'm brain farting like crazy right now. Discord will still tell you when I go live and upload. On top of that, if you want to support me directly, help keep a roof above my head and the lights on and the water running, you can consider donating, subscribing, or gifting a sub on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or supporting me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, or Patreon. But with all that said, thank you so much for watching, and have a good one.